Up everybody, Logan here again today with another video coming right at you guys. And today we're going to go over how I made roughly, I think it's like 9 to 10 grand. I still have to do the math. I'm going to do that in this calculator with the calculator today. Just trading 0DTEs on SPX. I've had a really good last 9 trading days. You got to remember I started these Friday the 20th. So that was 2 weeks ago, and we've only had 9 days to trade since then because Monday was Memorial Day, so the market did not open until Tuesday for it being closed in celebration of that. So we had 9 trading days, and we're going to go over all the profit trading 0DTEs. Posted the group gains, and then we'll go through my account statements, and I'll show you my charts and how I did this. But first, let's add it up. So we have 475 bucks here. As you guys can see here, I said back out of 0DTE retirement. I took some time off with the volatility in this market. It's just absolutely crazy. It's really hard to trade overnight. So I've really just been sticking to day trading and having a really good time with it. So we'll take our 475, we'll add 555 to it. So if we go over here, we'll do 475 plus 555. So far at 1,030. Then we come down to where I made 1,030. So that puts us at 2,060, which I'll just clear that. Type in 2,060. Then we'll come down. Said nice trade. Let's do it again. 650. It says 760 on the day actually. So 650 was that was profit I had taken earlier. So we'll add 760 to that guy. So we're up to 2,820 bucks. Then we're down to where I made 1,115 the next day. So add that $1,115. So that's where we're at, that 39.35. And that's one cool thing is now SPX has expirations almost every day, if not every day at this point. Like I said, I'm still new to the new Tuesday and Thursday expirations. Right here, so I actually made 620. I had a weird settlement. I can show you guys that, of course. The trade just settled with a weird amount towards the end of the day. So we'll add that 620 there. So add another 620 bucks. So we're at 4,555 within that week. There's one of the traders in the Discord trading the 0DTs, was up 25,000 that week. So we're up to 990 now that we were back. I said another $1,000 day roughly. So we'll do 990 on this guy. So plus 990 up to 5,545. Then we'll scroll down. Where did I post that one? Did someone say cash register? Because I'm ringing it today. That was $1,030. So we'll add 1,030. Then we have the next trade below, which is $1,630. We'll get that guy added. So we're up to 8,205 bucks. And then today we did $995. I said, thanks for riding the 0DTE train this week. It's been an honor being the conductor. Enjoy the weekend as we leave the station until Monday with the little train emoji. So $995. So we'll add a nice $995 to that. So we actually finished the week at a perfect $9,200. And then doing that over 9 trading days, if I divide that by 9, that's an average of $1,022 a day, which is pretty much my goal trading right now, 0DTE specifically. So that's where we're at for the week. Now let's jump into these charts. Let's jump into my account statements so that you guys know I'm for real, of course. And a lot of people know I already go over my account statements in most of my videos. You guys get to see all my trades. So from my standpoint and my perspective, everything I do is legit. There'd be no reason for me to not do it that way. It's just not in my heart. And especially there's so many other cool things you can go do in this world. So like I said, we'll go into the account statements and then I'll show you guys the charts and how I traded them every day. We'll go through the strikes I picked and why I did it. So let's hop right over to TOS. All right, so we're in my account statements. So we're going to go over just the trades for this past week, the last 4 days, just for some time constraint reasons. But I will show you guys some of these trades here, the fills we got on them. You guys can see the ones I let to go into expiration. Then I'm going to hop back and forth to the charts, take you guys to the 10-day, 30-minute chart, why I like this chart so much, and some of the under indicators I use. But this is the main bread and butter right here. This is it. This is the chart. This is TOS one. Super helpful. I've gone over these moving averages, but if you guys want to double check, it's the 195. the 390 on this time frame, the 10-day. Click. We have the 21 is the red one, and then the yellow ones are 34-day. So you guys already know these are the moving averages. These are when they cross. I get these little arrows that pop up. This was something Halcyon sent over to me, and a lot of the trades that I've been doing really well have been because of him. I'm on the phone with him every pre-market, and then we're usually on the phone if he doesn't have too many meetings when we're entering these trades. So we'll take a pretty solid look at everything here, but let's start with Tuesday, which was this day. This is Friday right here, right? We go right into Tuesday because of Memorial Day. So to start the day over here, we'll hop over back to the monitor tab. Look at these account statements. I canceled a couple fills right out of the gate. Then I got filled for 30 credit on these 41.95 calls. So the reason I took 41.95, and you guys can see I started to scale in a little bit later, to where I was in this with about $6,000 worth of collateral, and then I scaled in a little bit more here. So another 2,500, so that's 8,500. I was getting 35 credits, 30 credit, just working it around there. I slapped it on right when the day started. So since I'm on mountain time, it's going to be a 2-hour delay on these. So right away, 7:30, here's 8:30. So then I slapped some call credits when we were on right around here. Because at that point in this trade, I felt very confident that we weren't going to continue to rip because of the last few days of green we had, just riding the moving averages. We showed a lot of pain around that 41.60, especially with the immediate sell-off in the morning. So I decided to play really far out of the money on the call credits, made sure it was outside what our expected move was for the day, because Halcyon and I have found that what the last day's expected move is, and we can go to the trade tab to take a look right now too, what the last day's expected move is around close. So on Monday, we should expect to see, if we go over here, 45-point expected move. So once you get outside of that, it doesn't like to stay outside of that for very long. So looking at that, we really wouldn't want to stay outside of, depending on where we open, we should stay within that expected move. And that's how I do a lot of these trades, is like, how far are we from the expected move as well. So we entered around here, around this 10:30 mark, right? Because it says 8:30 for me on these call credits. We ran up a little bit, but there really wasn't much pain. We stalled out around 41.60. So I still had a pretty good amount of runway right there. So we go back to the monitor tab here. You guys can see as the day went on, after filling some of those call spreads, I filled a put spread around 9:30, and then more put spreads I filled around 10:30, which would be 11:30. So you guys can see back here. So on this big green candle, when we came back to retest this 21-day moving average right here, that's when I entered my first position, and we shot right back off. So the call credit started to collect as we were sitting down here, right? Because placed it when we were at this 41.40. And then as we drifted down on this candle before we shot back up, I placed that other PCS, just hitting support. And you guys can see too, the strikes that I took here, 40.70, 40.65. And you're like, oh, Logan, what's the reason for that? Well, if we go back to this day, you guys can see we have a lot of support here. We had some at 4100, we had some around 40.90, right? And then we even had some all the way down here at 40.30. But at that point, I did not expect us to test that, because that is not what the expected move would have called for the day. So in that particular situation is exactly why I placed it where I did, around that 40.70, 40.65, called it out to the Discord. And it was a very effortless, painless trade as we decided to stay above the moving averages for the rest of the trading day, which is always really nice, especially when you're on the put side, when the market's supporting you. So that was that day. I let everything expire because we closed around 41.33. Didn't have any worry in the world on any of my positions. And that was one of the really nice days and ways to start out the week. So that was a really nice trade there. Then we go to Wednesdays. So these are the last four if you're looking on the Discord. If we go to Wednesday, this was a little tougher day, but we still got really good fills. So Wednesday, if we go back to my monitor tab, which is now 6-1. So I'll just make this easier on you guys and say trades. I'll do what's from today. So we'll just click this and go all the way to 6:01. There you go. So now it's easier. You guys don't have as much stuff to look at to decipher. So down here again, 7:45. So we made that trade, which is 9:45 Eastern time, slapped on call credits right when the market opened, basically like 15 minutes after, which is to me market open. For 45 credit, we got 10 of them, so that's $450. We're risking $5,000 in that trade to make 450, and immediately I got filled on that candle up, that 41.66. But you got to remember that was yesterday's resistance, right? Then we have the TTM squeeze and the RSI both poking red, and the volume distribution and ADD was dropping as the market was figuring this candle out. So that's a good indication that there's going to be selling on the way. And then we did come down to 41.33, and I was eyeing up a position because I had already taken my position back here on this candle, in this 30-minute candle, close to the top. And then by the time this candle happened, that was basically worthless. Like, we weren't going to go all the way from 41.10 back up to 42.20. Although don't discredit anything in this market, because it is a very interesting time to be trading stocks, right? So next thing I did was let's go back to my monitor tab. Around, this is the 842, 852. Got a couple fills on some PCSs, and then a little bit more later. But these ones are the main ones. These are around that 9 o'clock, which is 11 o'clock on this guy. So that was right around here. I filled them just a little bit early on this test of 40.92. That's when I filled it. I like the support level, and I was thinking the worst that happens is we come down and test this blue line. So filled that, was a little early, and that's just part of being a trader. Sometimes you're in a little early. Then we got the reversal back to the moving averages. You got to remember, the market doesn't like to stay too far away from these for too long. No matter how far you're extended, it's always going to try to find its way back. So you guys can see on the monitor tab that when we slapped those on, we slapped on some 40.55s and some 40.35s as well, a little bit later on 6/1. So really nice day there. Super painless. And my thesis was like, well, let's put ourselves right around this extra support level and see what we can get ourselves if we have any more trouble. Plus, you got to remember, we opened all the way up here and had fallen 60 points, 70 points actually from the high, 70, 80 points off the high. At this point, the call credit was already worthless. And then if you're playing that expected move as well, we should not have came down and tapped 45, 40.55 or 40.35, which we didn't. This is right where the cursor is in the zone, right? TTM squeeze was still dropping a little bit, but I was still playing that expected move. Then we got that turnaround about an hour later. I was feeling much better. And then we were able to close that trade out for 100% as well. So this brings us to Thursday, which this is where it gets a little bit more unorthodox for me from what I'm showing you guys. But let's go from this day. We'll take that. So now we're just down to these, right? Just down to these few trades. Filled immediately that morning at 7:48. We got a $1.40, but I was going 10 wide, so it's about 14% return on collateral. So it's 7:48, which is 9:48. It was on this first candle. That's when I got the fill. So I immediately filled when we were down here. I went all the way far down, right? I had this support level here. I knew that this would get tested today if it was going to, which was at 40.50 at that time that I filled this trade. So I put myself at 40.40. Now, granted, I really like this one. And yes, we were underneath the moving averages. But there's one thing that I really want to say. When I started to see that the price action was coming back in our favor after we were down here, so when I placed the trade, and then the momentum hovered around here, and immediately on the 10 o'clock candle, we shot all the way up to the moving average around 41.10. So I'm feeling really good. I'm like, wow, okay, I started this trade out pretty small. Far away, just 10 contracts, nothing crazy. And it immediately rejected and went right back down. So this is where I got a little bit more nervous, but I knew it wants to stay close to these moving averages. We're already seeing the VIX shift a little bit. The VIX was moving around a little weird Thursday. This is, like I said, where we get unorthodox here, because I'm underneath the moving averages, which calls for shorting the market. But like I said, you want to stay pretty close to them, just like we did the other few days, right? I was pretty bullish over here. I was more bearish over here, and then I got bullish again before this move, though, because I saw the momentum and the ADD was going nuts. We were at like 1,000, which signifies heavy purchasing. So that's what I was looking at there. Then I decided to take the trade. Then we got really nice follow through. We were back to 41.02. Then we got all the way back up to 41.20, and the sky was the limit the rest of the day. And this is where I got a little nervous on Thursday, because if you guys see, I filled some call credits at 41.80, 41.90. Did not get very many of them though. 30, 40 credit on these guys, nothing crazy. Grabbed 7. So that was $7,000 in collateral. That was my really nice day of $1,630. But look how close we got at the end of the day. I was about 3 points from being tested. And I had a couple management ideas too if I did get tested. But I placed myself outside of the expected move. And that last candle really got me a little nervous. But the rest of the day, I mean, I placed that earlier and then we just stalled out and then shot up at the end of the day. Might have been a little bull trap because it got a little nasty today. But that was like my close call of the week. And there's a couple management techniques, but I can get more in depth on those in the next video, of course. And then we come into Friday. So this is today. Today was $995 day. So that's $5 short of 1,000. Fine with me, right? Whatever, $5. I'll make it back on the Yankees or something. And so we're running some trades in the Discord again. Made a super early call out this morning. But we opened at 41.40, sold all the way down to 41.17. And as you guys can see, we'll go to, let's get this filled again. We'll work this back to just the 3rd. Okay. So these are all the trades today. I canceled the order this morning. I do that quite a bit. If I'm not getting filled and the price is hopping around and I see a really good setup, I really got to fight for my fills in the morning, especially if you're filling more than one contract. It's harder to fill a lot of contracts at the same price. So I'm always fighting Mark there. That's why you see so many canceled orders. But we did get a fill, and that was at 7.49, which is right here. It was right down when we were around this 41.20. That's when I started to look to get long because we already had that big drop overnight. So we have a gap to fill above, right? Then, even though we do see this slowly drifting down, I took this trade at the bottom of this candle. And granted, I saw the momentum was dropping. So at 41.20, it dropped to 41.17. I had my finger on the trigger ready to go. And when we saw that momentum get us back to 41.22, the ADD was on point. The ticks were on the rise. And I took that trade and we shot all the way back up to 41.37. And that trade had collected at that point 60-70%, like within 10 minutes. Like it was really ridiculous. The Discord was talking about it too. And then we got shut down. Then we got shut down. So the nice thing though is because I put this trade on so early, I'm all the way down at 40.55, right? Then I filled a little bit later at 40.70 as well. So the closest I got was 30 points, right? On this drop when we hit 4100, but I have this support level and I have this support level here too, right around my strikes. So if the thesis is we don't move too far away from the expected move of the day, if we hold our support and stay close to our moving averages, well, then I should be fine. Today was great. You guys can see in the monitor tab again, filled these 10, filled these 6. It was only put spreads today. I did not do any call credits and still made 1,000. And there were definitely setups for the call credits, but I think I let my own bias get in the way of thinking we were going to go fill that gap today. And and I'm a huge fan of gap fill trading. 95% of gaps do get filled. A lot of them do fill them in the same day. And with how big of a green day yesterday was, I wouldn't be surprised if we immediately sold it open, hit 4,100 and tried to shoot back up towards 4,200. Even though the expected move wasn't calling for it as much, gaps do get filled. So it was really important. I was sitting there and I was like, well, I want to be smart about this, right? Like I really want to be smart on my decision making here. So that's why I did that. And that's how we made these trades, got these fills around these times. It's 8:40, even 10 o'clock. I felt good because we were holding the support. So got a text from Halcyon. He was like, hey man, I think we're going to flip around here. So I put the PCS on down here, right around the support level. We got rejected again and then sold into close. So I have all my positions off. I don't have a single position going over this weekend. Just trading the S&P 500. That's all you need. $9,200 in 9 days. If you guys want to come trade with us in the Discord, come check the link in the description. Also, leave a like on this video if you guys haven't already. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And I'll keep spitting these videos out to you. But, $9,200, 22 years old. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So I really appreciate all the support as always. Make sure you check the links down in the description. Leave a comment as well. If you made it this far, I want to see an apple emoji. If you guys have an app like the fruit, right, emoji and you're on your device or whatever, just slap that down in the comments. So just let me know you made it all the way through. But that's going to be everything for me, and I will see you guys in the next video.